Hello, everyone, and good evening. It is September 19th, Monday evening, 10:54 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I am your host, Bo Shevasu. Today, we're going to be having a lot of fun. This is a very unique broadcast because I will actually be showing you some things that I'll be unboxing here, such as this Essie knife. I am so tickled pink and excited about this. I usually have a lot of knives everywhere. As a matter of fact, behind this green screen, the whole wall is painted with knives. So if you know me, I enjoy these kind of things. Not that I'm a violent person, but I'm just fascinated by this tool that is carried throughout time, and it says so much about a culture. Like, let's say, for example, if I were to reach right over here, let me show you this. Now, this is not available for sale here on Amazon.com, but I will be covering that. But I just wanted to show you the nuances behind this. So this I got in a small African country called Burkina Faso. It's a landlocked country in West Africa. And we flew into Ouagadougou, which is the capital. Try to say that 5 times fast. And we met some wonderful, wonderful Christians there. And this right here I got out in the middle of a village. And the handle is hand carved out of wood, and it's double edged on this side and that side. The steel appears to be made from spring steel, appears to be from, let's say, a car, for example. And it's just so brilliantly designed. And so it says so much about a culture, their agriculture, how they defend themselves. And I'm just very much satisfied and fascinated by knives in the world. So, but tell me, where are you tuning in from? Yes, I can see all the chat going on right here on Amazon. Oh, it looks like we have got quite a few people tuning in. Perhaps that's because most of the live streamers right now are streaming from overseas because the rest of the world is awake. Who knows? A lot of the people overseas don't have access to some of the things that I have. So I'm going to be demonstrating some of these things for you guys in a very safe, professional manner. Don't worry, I am a trained professional. As a matter of fact, I have a lot of things on my hip belt that I probably can't show you out of fear for the Amazon moderators taking this down because they think I'm a violent person. So I won't stand up, unless you already did see. But anyway, regardless, let's move on to the actual reviews here because this is just fun. These reviews on these stun batons are the things that really have put me into the top reviewers on YouTube. And I would say that it is my #1 watched video about me testing a stun baton on myself. And of course, I kind of sound like Kermit the Frog. No, it's Beaker. Yeah, it's Beaker from the Muppets. You know how he screams? I'm not going to scream right now because I don't want to wake the neighborhood. But let's go ahead and first start with this Essie knife right here. Oh, I'm just so excited. Now, first of all, the packaging here is simply phenomenal because the backside I was looking at, I was like, this is not conventional marketing packaging on the back of this thing. What in the world is this? And it says ground to air distress signals, how to read a topographic map, which I hope you already know that since a kid. I hope short-term survival tips, lost, shelter, signaling. Amazing. Okay, so clearly they have their ducks in a row when it comes to attempting to convey survival type information. Of course, I'm not the highest of survival experts. I do appreciate a good tool, and I try to do as much training as humanly possible, but I'm certainly not like one of those Rambos out there who could survive out in the jungle or what I was going to reference Bear Grylls, but I won't. We're going to actually cover one of his knives shortly here, and it's really actually quite fascinating how Bear Grylls partnered with Gerber, and then all of a sudden Gerber dropped him in their brand. Oh, it's funny. But let's continue with this, shall we? All right. Oh, I really hope they don't require me to use a knife to open up a knife box. That's just redundant. I don't want to tear it that much because what if I want to return it? I don't like the knife. I want to be nice to the packaging. Oh, impressions. Oh, now I don't mean to be a materialistic person, but there's something just so exciting about this. It's just, I just can't help it. Oh man. Oh wow, that handle is much lighter than I anticipated. I'm fairly certain that I requested an olive drab handle. Does does that look olive drab to you? Well, let's continue with this, shall we? Okay. All right, we're gonna open this up as yep. We do require a knife. I'm gonna use this homemade knife from Burkina Faso. Hopefully, I don't get tetanus here. It's so not sharp. Oh, that is actually sharp. The tip is not sharp, but the edge is. Wow, fascinating. Okay, all right. We're gonna open this and oh, that's lightweight. First impressions is super lightweight. Wow. So the handle is very unique. It's actually made out of a fiber, as in like material on a t-shirt, but it's compressed down heavily, and so it's gripped. So it almost feels like a canvas. And okay, the sheath itself is nice. Let's go ahead and oh, that's just satisfying. Oh, you could use this for all sorts of cookware. Now I see that the blade is olive drab, so maybe I made a mistake at some point and ordered. I thought the entire handle was supposed to be olive drab, including the blade itself. That is not. Oh, that's okay. I could shave some hair off of my forearm with this thing. That's nice. So what I was looking for was a fixed blade that I could carry scout style because I want to experiment with that. A lot of people carry a fixed blade that is a blade that doesn't fold straight down, or they simply have a folded knife like this. But a folded knife can be somewhat cumbersome to deploy if in fact you need to open up an Amazon package rather quickly. So this right now already, oh, that is just so comfortable. It's no wonder this thing is top rated. But the main question that I had was, does this thing actually come? Oh, that clips in nicely. Oh, that's not going anywhere. Does this actually come with a clip allowing me to modify this thing and use it? Oh, there's their survival card. That's cute. Not as cool as the tactical hair clips, of which I do have a promo code in the description. But we'll be covering that in just a moment here. Let's go ahead and open up this thing and see if we can scout carry this. So when you scout carry a knife, like Boy Scouts, it is mounted horizontally on your belts, and so you can easily reach down and pull it out, and yet it still doesn't jab into you. Like if it was mounted like this, it kind of pokes into your side, you know, it's just uncomfortable. But when it's like this, you can bend over and your seatbelt doesn't really get in the way as it cuts into you like this. It just is, yeah, it's just, I'm really curious to see if scout carry will work. So you will see that this clip right here is a belt clip, and that comes with this. And we're gonna see if this aligns. It looks like 3 out of the 4 clips do align, and so that does match the reviews that I found. That's kind of lame that they couldn't actually create a clip that would match all 4 of those holes. It's just matching 1, 2, 3. We will see if that is robust enough to actually stay in place. I imagine that the 3 little bolts, or the 4 bolts that they comes with this. Yeah, oh, that is just so much fun. That's so nice. Oh, 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 I like that. Oh, the color of the handle, I wanted it to be darker so that it would blend in more. Although, if it does blend into my little pasty white skin tone, that might actually be quite conducive to concealed carry. That's neat. Oh, wow. So there you go. There's the unboxing. It comes with some other stuff, like a whole ton of stickers, some other little decals, some more survival cards, and probably a little care manual as well. So there's the unboxing of that. But as you know, what my live broadcast is famous for is actually demonstrating things out in the field. That's going to be my only unboxing this entire broadcast, because I like to, as a consumer, actually see these items and objects that I purchase on Amazon or that I'm considering purchasing. I want to know how they're operating out in the field. And so, instead of opening up a stun baton and clicking it and saying, well, I guess it works, I'm actually going to use it on myself and try to describe it like a fine wine. So let's hop right into the reviews right here. All right, let's hop right into Vipertech. Oh, or do you want to do throwing knives first? Ooh. Now, the throwing knives are kind of cool because I try a spinless knife throw. So if ever you're familiar with the movies, when a knife is thrown in the movies, it does like this, right, like a ninja star. What's rather interesting about a spinless knife throw, that is a throwing of a knife with zero spin, and you almost kind of lob it in a lazy sort of fashion, and you take your finger and you drag it along the spine as you release. And so as it leaves you, it hopefully continues on its trajectory and then sticks inside the target like this without doing any kind of spins. So let's take a look at that with these perfect point throwing knives. Ooh, this one was a very, very fun one. It's actually over my brother-in-law's house as we were playing with these things. All right, there it is. Let's roll it.
All right, so these are from Perfect Point. Ooh, they kind of have like a Black Widow design on them. That's quite nice. Ooh, it feels nice, very stabby. But they're not for stabbing, they're for throwing, aren't they? All right, we're gonna try the spinless knife throw. So instead of holding it like this and whipping it to try to get a rotation, we're gonna be dragging our finger along the spine. So it's kind of a lazy way of throwing, but it's just a fun little challenge. So let's see how it goes. First time in 10 years. Uh-huh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh. All right, now we're gonna move on to the Ruko because I ran out of the 3 precision points. This is nice. Oh, this has a good weight to it. I'm feeling confident about this. Okay. Oh, very confident. Oh, very. Okay, those are my favorite. The Rukos are absolutely my favorite. Wow, there's just so much weight to it. It just slides off so organically. So when you're throwing it, it's kind of this lazy way of throwing like that. Oh, that's nice. Do you want to try a full spin? Let's try a full spin, shall we? Yeah. Ah. Oh, that's nice. Let's try a spin with the precision points also. Oh, I think they're designed to spin. I think so. I don't think they're designed to drag. Oh. Oh, man, that's fun. Oh, wow. Ooh. Now, obviously, you're not going to use this for self-defense, although it is key. Distance management is key to preserving your life. So I guess in one regard, these would work nicely. But if you can train with a firearm, I'd recommend that. Or pepper spray. That'll help you keep your distance too. If you have something like tasers or those stun batons, you got to get closer. If you have a knife, you got to get close to your opponent to defend yourself. Not recommended. So now that we've actually thrown it up against the log here, you can see a little bit of distress. The paint is starting to chip off a little bit, but the integrity of the blade is still good. And you can see also with the precision point over here, starting to wear a little bit, but oh, this is fun. Let's continue.
Very, very nice. All right, so those were the, I think they're called Perfect Point. I don't know why I said Precision Point. Maybe they changed that. I thought for sure I had that correctly. But boy, oh boy, throwing knives are just so much fun. Not recommended for self-defense, obviously, but boy, they're just fun, especially when it sticks in the target, in that log, and it's just satisfying. Oh boy, so as you saw right there, there are some blades that are designed for spinless knife throws and some that go all the way around. Fascinating, huh? And all of these are available on a small little startup website here in Seattle, Washington called Amazon.com. All right, let's move on to this Vipertech review. Let's bring it down and 3, 2, 1, roll it.
Hello, Amazon.com. My name is Bo Shevasu. Today I'm coming to you with this taser. Well, technically it's not a taser. That's like a trademark thing elsewhere. Stun gun, stun baton, you know what I'm talking about. But this little guy is a fantastic little self-defense weapon, mainly for the psychological reasons. When you turn this on, there's lots of cracking and popping and
something that looks like the Emperor is shooting out of his fingertips in The Return of the Jedi. This is from Vipertech. Comes in a nice little box, very, very Chinese looking. You know, the line with silk and all exotic looking. That's what I mean by Chinese looking. Not meaning to be racist, guys. Wow. Woo! All those people. Now let's break down how this works and why I'm not going to demonstrate it on yours truly, because it's terrifying. I'm going to go ahead and turn it halfway up. There's a little switch which turns on the light. This is great if you're walking a dog at night. When you flick it all the way up, a little red light, and that's the warning light that yes, now this can be activated, and you do so by pushing this little rocker switch, which is spring activated. So if I push it down, wow, that's loud. It sounds almost like a little firecracker going off. Look very carefully. Woo! Wow! Alright, so this review was actually quite old, as evidenced by the fact that I still have a buzz cut there, and yet I eventually was brave enough to actually try this thing on myself. And if you've ever been tased before, not that you should be, but in a controlled environment by a professional, it's a curious sensation. It hurts like the dickens, and then immediately the pain just goes away, which is why one recommendation I would have is to go with pepper spray, because it's a lingering sensation. It doesn't just dissipate quickly and then the bad guy is back to being a bad guy, you know? But from a psychological point of view, you heard it right there. It's very, very, very scary sounding, when in reality, I'm not entirely sure if I would recommend this because, well, actually, let's continue. And I actually want to show you guys how these things actually feel. So I'm going to find the Sabertech right there. Oh, wait. This one is Vipertech. This is the same maker. But this one is, I believe, yes, this one right there. The one that actually looks like a flashlight, which is cool to have a stun baton that actually looks like a flashlight. Here we go. Okay, here we go.
Ready? And... Oh, yeah! I moved. I chickened out. I so chickened out.
It's so true. When someone's doing it to you, it's the most difficult thing in the world to, like, see them advancing towards you and willfully hold your arm. Like if you close your eyes, it's fine. But when you're actually looking at it and you see like these zaps coming towards you, gets your heart going. So as you saw, my brother-in-law Brian Hiller is having a good time trying to convince me to hold still. And then I think at one point he says, "Look over there," to which I do, and then he gets me.
What's that over there?
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, that is not like a pinprick. That actually seizes the muscles. Are you sure?
Yeah, let's do it.
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
We're crazy. Now, he's the physician. I'm not.
Yep.
So if something bad happens, then just keep rolling. Here we go.
All right.
Is it better if I count?
No.
1, 2, I count anyway.
Yeah.
Was that too sharp?
No, it was good.
Oh, just good.
Yeah,
Describe
same.
the feeling like a
That was
fine
it.
wine.
So I think of a couple of wasp things where it actually hit, but then I agree, the muscles did like just lock up, and I'm actually getting tingling down this guy.
Uh-oh.
So you got the nerve involvement of the funny bone nerve where you hit, and so this is still all tingly right now, just from that.
Hello, Amazon.com. It's me, Bo Shevasu. And so then I go into my kitchen and I continue to describe exactly how this thing works, where to push the button to turn on the flashlight. And at one point, oh, that's right, I had a raw sausage there because I wanted to see if it would actually burn it. Spoiler alert, it does not. It did not leave any kind of burn marks or singe. You would think that an arc like that, going zzz, would leave some sort of burn mark behind, but it doesn't. So if we were to actually play this right there, I'm going to try to do it.
Nice china.
All right, kind of right there. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, and there is absolutely no marks whatsoever. So there you go. If you're concerned about testing this on yourself, it's not going to leave a mark behind. Really, it just seizes up your muscles and confuses your nerves, and you're like, ah, boy, that was very uncomfortable. So it's a fascinating device. So that's the pink one right there, and then of course the exact same model is the black one. The only difference, of course, is the color. Yeah, fascinating, huh? Yeah. All right. Let's look for this Saber Stun one right there. Oh, this one is fun. Oh, wait. You have to hear me. You have to hear me scream like I'm Beaker from.
Hello, Amazon.com. It is me, Bo Shevisu. Today we are going to be testing 2 items that actually come in the same pack here on Amazon. We've got the Stun Baton and pepper spray. Okay, so we are here with Gigi. We actually teach and train self-defense, and so she's very familiar with grappling. However, today she is going to show how to use this stun baton on her uncle, me, yours truly, Bo Shevisu. I really don't like doing this. Already my palms are sweaty because it's not pleasant at all. But I put my life on the line so that you don't have to. Now, first of all, to engage, she's gonna push the button up to turn the flashlight on. You see that? So you would use that mode, let's say if you were walking your dog. Let's say someone jumped out of the bushes. Then she pushes it all the way forward. See that red light? That's an indicator that it's actually armed. All she has to do is push. Oh, this is where it gets real, guys. Okay, so she's gonna push it and then pop it right on my arm. Here we go. So what it feels like is like you have a whole bunch of little needles that just stabs into your arm and your arm seizes up. Something to keep in mind, it's the noise that gets to you psychologically. So for a reasonable person, go ahead and do it.
By the way, I'm just going to pause it right there and show you in the carousel below. If you're here on Amazon, I am highlighting this exact little product right there. If you want to click on it and look at more reviews, you're certainly welcome to. Or if you want to rewatch myself being in pain, you can just go to that product, scroll down, and you'll see the video.
Again there, for a reasonable person, that freaks you out. However, how many reasonable people are most likely going to be attacking you? Do you know what I mean? So for that, I would recommend the mace because that allows you to keep your distance. You don't want to get super close to someone. Even if they have something like this, if they're crazy, they're gonna push through this and it might even kick the hornet's nest and make them more angry. Firearm or mace allows you to keep that distance. However, if you need something in your hand, sure, why not get this? I wanted to see how far this pepper spray actually goes. What is unique about this is that you can press this all you'd like. It's not gonna do anything. What's unique about this is it has a cap. When you push it up like so, you can slide your thumb underneath it. Let's simulate being about 6 feet away. I'm going to be here. The suspect will be here. And I just pulled it out of the package.
By the way, can you hear the turkey going in the background? Yes. I think his name was Matthew. Was Matthew. He was a very evil bird. He's been disowned, though. He's been sent to a better place. Fortunately, as I was out there with the pepper spray, we got to do a little marinating, if you will. Put a little bit of delicious pepper on him before. Anyway, poor Matt. He was a very evil bird.
I'm gonna lift it up like this. 3, 2, 1, squirt. Like that. Oh, very nice. What I like about this package is that there's distance management, and also if your opponent gets too close, you have something like this. We are actually gonna test to see how long this thing lasts. So let's say there are multiple opponents, right? If this thing only lasts 2 seconds, there you go. So we are going to turn it on, and 3, 2, 1, go ahead. And pause. Wow, that is well over 10 seconds already. I'm surprised that it's still going. Now, according to the instructions, you're not supposed to have it on for that long, but push it to its limits. So what is the final verdict? The final takeaway? Obviously, distance management is the best form of self-defense. If you're close enough, the stun baton, it might be better than some hands and some palm strikes, although honestly, you don't have to prepare anything for a good punch. If you can get into self-defense, condition those blows, know how to strike with your palm or your claws, anything but keys in your fist. That is one of the biggest myths ever. I'm gonna put my keys in my fist like Wolverine. It won't do anything. I'm really sorry, but all the little hipsters teaching the college course self-defense classes, it's a myth. Just punch, use your knuckles or slap as hard as you can with your palm. Of course, if you need to use the stun baton, again, it's the psychology behind the zapping that gets you. You will notice at the very beginning of this video that we actually tested the stun baton on Gigi herself and then also her brother Tristan, and you'll see they didn't really jump that much. That's because we surprised them, and they were actually surprised that it kind of felt like a little pinprick. But then when I myself and then my friend Tom, when we had it done on ourselves, it felt a lot worse because they actually counted down and we knew it was coming. So psychologically, it trips you up. So that is your biggest form of defense, or rather deterrent, when it comes to a stun baton, is actually zapping. Hey, you better stay away. At the end of the day, the mace I would recommend is the best possible thing for the most amount of people because you can keep that distance. It lingers in the air. As a matter of fact, after we stopped filming, I was coughing a little bit. The residual was still in that environment. So be very, very mindful that the mace, it's powerful. So go out, get the pepper spray, go out, get some real world self-defense training. And if you can afford to train with firearms, absolutely do that. That's the best possible thing at the end of the day. So I hope that this review is helpful in determining whether or not this.
And there we go. I just landed the plane on the review right there. So rather fascinating, huh? So I think a lot of people who equip themselves with stun batons, they have never actually been in an altercation. And as I mentioned here, having taught nearly 11 years of self-defense, you don't want to be close to your opponent. And so if you can equip yourself with tools that forces you to keep your distance, that is the best possible form of self-defense, is distance management. No matter how good your tool is, if they get close enough, and if they're bigger and stronger and crazier than you, they can probably take it away from you. Now, if you're bigger and stronger, more power to you. You'll probably win even without a tool. But we like to train in our system to assume that an attacker will always be bigger, they will always be stronger, and the fact that they are attacking you, that already tells you they are crazier. So equip yourself with the ability to manage that distance. Now, we are going to have a little fun here and test the top four stun batons right here, okay? So, I'm not making light. I bet it hurts. Oh, yes. Oh, it absolutely does hurt. No joke about that. 100%. I agree with you. I don't know how to pronounce your username because, oh, it's Blake. It says Blake. Sorry, I didn't read the emojis right there. I see you. If everybody else out there on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook is wondering what I'm talking about, over here on Amazon Live, I can actually see all the chats. And I just saw Blake has his username as all emojis. Well done. I like the clowns, by the way. That's fantastic. But anyway, you probably want to see me in pain, don't you? Oh, of course you do. Let's go and roll it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the top 4 stun guns. And we will be testing them on myself.
By the way, quick pause here. This is my second most viewed video over on my YouTube channel. The first one is like a posture corrector. Really weird. I don't know why that took off. But yeah, this one, yeah, there's Kelly, there's my buddy, and he just laughs. He just loves inflicting pain on me. So let's continue.
We're gonna try to describe them like fine wines. Psychologically, that is absolutely terrifying. Ow! And then we have this one right here. It's a flashlight, but then there's one more right there with the button. Wow. Cool. And then we have this cute little guy right here that you would put on a keychain. Oh, and a light.
Then we have this nice big wonton.
Okay.
That sounds nice, which I'm gonna display on both.
I don't like this.
Wow! He's not ready.
That's not pleasant at all. Next!
I'm thinking this one's gonna be worse.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh man.
Ready?
No! Oh, that's much worse. Oh, it's still lingering. Wow, it's kind of like that one actually locked up my entire arm when we did that one. Oh man, this is getting worse and worse. All right, now we're going on to the flashlight, everybody. Here we go. Ooh, Ooh, I can smell burning. You know what's interesting is it felt about the same as this one. Okay, then we have this cute little guy here. So what's rather interesting about this little guy right here is, of course, for one thing, you can't really conceal this very well in a purse. If you are maybe a bouncer or something, even this is still pretty imposing. It is plastic, so I do not think it's going to hold up if you're going to hit someone. So really the biggest selling point to this is the little taser or stun gun. It's not really a taser, that's the brand. The stun on the very front. So red button right there, click it. So that's right on the front right there. So you have to be pretty precise. Now, there is a metal bar here and a metal bar there. So we're gonna actually see what those do. I actually don't know what those metal bars do because that did not actually shock me.
Maybe you have to complete the circuit by grabbing it.
Maybe we should complete the circuit by grabbing it. Here we go.
All right, so a little director's commentary here. That was the one that brought me to my knees. I've tested quite a few of these before, and that one absolutely brought me to my knees. So if you're someone who suspects that a bad guy might be grabbing this, like let's say you're in the front line of like, I don't know, riot police or something like that, this isn't good for hitting because it's plastic and it'll break, but if someone grabs that, oh boy, they're not going to be grabbing it for long. So I completed the circuit, as Rachel so eloquently said. Thank you, Rachel. And yes, that one absolutely brought me to my knees. And of course, you can see the compassion in my buddy Kelly and his face right there. Oh man, why do I do these things? All right, let's continue.
So what we've discovered, ladies and gentlemen, is when you're doing it and you actually grab it, as evidenced by our videographer right here, that completes the circuit. That was most definitely the most painful one yet. It brought me to my knees. And so this is ideal if you're trying to keep someone away and they grab it. They're not going to be grabbing it for long. They will be on their knees. Now, if we move on to the next one, this probably hurt the most, which I was kind of surprised. But you will see how much arc is in there. So first we activate it right there. That's a huge arc going on. So that one definitely hurt the most.
Yeah, so that one is the Saber Stun Gun, which you can see linked down below with 2,400 reviews. These are all very reasonably priced, by the way. I'm pretty sure there's like no computer electronics in there. It's basically a manual switch that activates a battery, and the battery goes and creates an arc and attempts to connect the circuit, and that's it. It's a very, very basic device. But let's continue to hear my overall opinion and which one is the winner, if in fact one is.
This is the Saber S 1009.
Yeah, it does have the flashlight setting, but it doesn't appear that it functional right now. But maybe the battery burned out?
So the flashlight is burned out on the Saber. That's lame.
This one, it certainly hurt, but it felt more like a hornet sting. This is from Vipertech, more like a hornet sting. And then lastly, we have this cute little guy that actually comes with the integrated plug, so you can just plug it in like this. And let's go ahead and take a listen to it. Oh, well, first of all, it's a little confusing which one is the light and which one is the actual taser itself. That one felt almost like a very mild bee sting. Oh.
What happened, Kelly?
So, see these little, if someone grabs a hold of it, it shocks you.
Oh, because the metal nodes go down further.
Yeah.
Describe it like a fine wine.
Like my hand was just, on fire. Or just pounded, bam! Like somebody took a hammer, because I had a hold of it. I completed the circuit.
If in fact you were to go with one of these, as far as concealability goes, it's definitely this little guy. As far as most bang for your buck, it's definitely the Saber S1009. As far as the absolutely most painful one, it's this Baton, the SWB 7000R from Streetwise. Overall, I like the ability that this one actually looks like a flashlight, so if you're out actually walking your dog, that's pretty cool. Now, we teach self-defense here at Classe Gun. So which one of these would I recommend? I would say none of them. Why is that? We here at Classe Gun, we teach distance management. If you manage the distance, you manage the damage. And these require you to be right up close to your opponent. So even if you do sting them for a moment, they're going to disarm you. And so, by the way, I didn't make up that manage the distance, manage the damage. That was procured and borrowed so eloquently from the people over at Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. I believe Henner Gracie once said that. And we teach a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which means that you have to get very close to your opponent. My background is originally Taekwondo. By the way, I'm scrolling back in the video. There's nothing wrong with your stream. Originally, my background is Taekwondo, and yet I realized that one day when I was in an actual Taekwondo class, I was sparring a fellow, and he took me down using high school wrestling. And that's when it hit me, oh, even a black belt in Taekwondo can't do anything to someone who just comes up, clinches you, does a leg hook takedown, and locks you up in a guillotine, which is what he did. I mean, high school wrestling, that was a huge aha moment for me. And I thought to myself, I got to learn how to grapple. And I've been thus doing it for, 10, 11 years or something. So highly recommended to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Plus, it's so much fun. It's like playing chess on a mat, and you have someone, you put your arm a certain way and trying to bait them into grabbing it, and then when they grab it, then you grab them and twist it in a certain way and lock them up or put them to sleep, and it's just so much fun. So apologies for making you go through all of that pain, and at the very end of this video, I essentially told you that I wouldn't recommend any of them. I would recommend pepper spray or something else that goes pew pew, but I won't actually say that because Amazon moderators might think I'm a violent person, which I'm not. I am a trained professional here. By the way, I see this in the Amazon comments right here. Clown love. I'll be honest, that's a first one, and I'm going to respond with mime love. Because now I don't want to make any enemies here. We can still be friends even if we disagree. But I'm going to say right now that I am a professionally trained pantomime, as in like mime. And you may be wondering, well, why am I talking? It's because I'm not wearing my gloves and I don't have a full outfit on. So I just have to say that with full disclosure because evidently mimes and clowns are sworn enemies of each other and they can't get along. But maybe we can get along this broadcast, but just this one broadcast. Tomorrow, yeah, maybe we can gang up together and go up against the magicians. How's that? That sounds good to me. All right, let's continue with some wonderful reviews right here. What do we have up next? Ooh, dash cams. Dash cams are so much fun. Do you guys want to see someone hitting my wife in a vehicle? Don't worry, no one gets hurt. No one gets hurt here. Everybody's perfectly fine. But the beautiful thing about this is that this is real footage of a dash cam. And so I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Oh boy, that gets me every time, that the squealing of the wheels right there. So as you saw, she was driving along, going the speed limit, but this one guy thought that he could make it by getting in front of her, and he did not make it, obviously. As a matter of fact, if you look closely, you can actually see the wheels on his, yeah, it actually rocks his whole vehicle. Isn't that incredible? So this is the Z-Edge dual dash cam right here, this footage that you're seeing. The beautiful thing about having a dash cam is that when the police officer showed up, everybody was very, very honest with what happened. You know, typically if someone's at fault, usually that person is in denial. It's like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. She was going too fast. You know what I mean? But when you tell the police officer and everybody else around, I have everything recorded. Oh, it's amazing how honest people get. So I think these are one of the greatest inventions that needs to go on every single vehicle. Matter of fact, I would be a proponent of car insurance companies saying, hey, we'll give you a 30% discount if you put a dash cam in your car, just to keep you accountable and make the claims easier. I mean, for 30% off, I mean, even only 25% off my insurance, I would do that. I would do it just for the sake of conveniency. Which, by the way, I'm looking at this guy in the background in that old car. He didn't stop. He just kind of looked and was like, well, looks like a major accident. Here I go, and I'm going to move on. I'm just going to say right now, having seen a few accidents in my life, not meaning to pull the old man card here, but I'm just going to say, if you see someone in a car accident, you can safely pull over and assist. You don't need to be a paramedic. You don't need to be a nurse. The number one reason why I hear people not pulling over is the following. Are you ready for this? I have someplace to be. I kid you not. I have someplace to be. I've heard it so many times. It's like, I have someplace to be too. Why do you think I'm driving? Do you think I'm just here, just like gallivanting around, cruising around in my Toyota Corolla because I like it? No, I have someplace to be too. So you might have to be 10 or 15 minutes late to your job or to your haircutting appointment, and I know it's going to be an inconvenience, but the fact that you do stop and you do help and you do sacrifice in that way, it means a lot to the other people around there. Especially if the person who caused the accident is a crazy person. Like, I got hit by a driver going 45 miles per hour from the rear. He hit me. I was at a dead stop, and man, I should have been so much more injured. Oh boy, Jesus did not take me home quite yet. I've had a lot of experiences where Jesus has not taken me home, and so I remember sitting there listening to talk radio, and I looked in my rearview mirror, and there was this car coming towards me engulfed in blue smoke, which was him skidding, trying to stop. And I only know that that was about the speed that he was going. It's because the Department of Homeland Security was in a high-speed chase with him. And they said that he got upwards of speeds of 90 miles per hour. And he was going about that speed when he hit me. So needless to say, my Toyota Corolla was damaged. And yeah, it just, all the airbags went off. Airbags smell horrible, by the way. I know, I'm complaining about the airbag smell. But then I like looked out the window and I saw this little portly man scrambling out of his car, sprinting over 2 lanes of traffic, jumping over a guardrail. And then these guys, the Department of Homeland Security is dressed very interestingly. They basically look like guys in jeans, and at least these guys, jeans and flannel shirts, but they had body armor on. And like Solomon trail running shoes. They all looked like that. It was really funny. It's like, is this your outfit, guys? So you can tell that they're used to assimilating and kind of blending into plain clothes, but in a pinch, they've got something in their trunk that they throw on, and they do these high-speed chases. So yeah, that was rather interesting. But That dash cam. I wish I had that dash cam going that time. At that point, I thought, I think I should get a dash cam for my... Oh, no, I did have that one. Yeah, but it was only facing forward. I didn't have a rear-facing dash cam, so I didn't actually see him coming up behind me. This one that I have linked below, it's a dual dash cam. So you have two angles, one on the front, one on the back. Very convenient. It'll pay itself off in the first car accident. It's absolutely brilliant. And you don't necessarily have to use that one right there. There's other ones on Amazon, but the ones around this price point have some really, really nice features, such as the chime not coming on every time you turn on the car. By the way, if you're not familiar with how dash cams work, they're essentially black boxes that you would have like in an airliner, and they record everything. Some can even record your speed and GPS coordinates. Really, I just need the visual because it's fairly obvious to know where this took place. I mean, there's a street sign right there. You don't need the GPS coordinates. But there are some cheaper dash cams that are a bit more frustrating to set up. And the ones that I like are the ones that record in 5-minute video intervals. So if you put in a 128 gigabyte micro SD card, it will record for, I don't know, 8 hours straight in 5-minute chunks. Does that make sense? And then when it gets to the end of that 8 hours, it starts to record over your oldest footage, right? So it's just always looping. It is a good idea to every few months just format your SD card in case there's an error somewhere in there. You just want to format it out. But out of all of the car wrecks that I have witnessed, I think that the dash cam is one of the greatest inventions ever. So highly recommended to get one. All right, let's move on to a BB gun. Oh, this is just so much fun. I love doing this stuff. I like these kind of things. And oh, there it is. Beretta APX. This is a toy. This is a BB gun. Well, not a toy as in like you give this to a child, but you know what I mean. Like it's not something that actually goes pew pew with stuff behind it. But here we go. So let's turn this up right there. Oh, so there you go. So a lot of people get these replicas to before they actually buy the real McCoy, because they want to know what a fake gun actually feels like, because everything about this ergonomically is the same as a real one. The only difference is that it shoots BBs. And so if we were to kind of go through there, I basically show you what it looks like there, and it has a little CO2 cartridge right there, and it's quite fascinating. So you can see the CO2 cartridge goes into the typically where the magazine goes right there. So if in fact you are considering something that it actually has gunpowder in it, then I would recommend buying a toy, something like this, for dirt cheap. Well, relatively dirt cheap. It's much it's less expensive than the real McCoy. Let's just say that. And then you can get used to the ergonomics. You know, just go out and shoot a few paper targets with your BB gun here, and you know what? You can have it later for target practice. You know, doing quick draw drills, things like that. So highly recommended. Smart, huh? Smart, yeah. Instead of going to a gun range and trying to rent all these things that like, well, the guy up front with the giant handlebar mustache says I need a Glock, so I better get one. It's like, you don't know that. It might not fit you ergonomically. Get what feels best for you. And this is one of the greatest ways of doing that. It's just getting a toy and just playing with it, being like, oh, okay, I like the grip. Or, that's feels like a brick. I mean, that's why I don't like Glocks. Feels like I'm holding a square Lego. But that's me. So I don't carry one. I have one though, just for fun. Okay, all right. Let's move on, shall we? Let's move on to tactical hair clip. What in the world is a tactical hair clip? That's weird. Let's roll it.
Tickling and tangling your temples, you stare at them, determined. These flowing locks must be locked down, faster than a jiu-jitsu professor on an exposed elbow. They feel like tiny ants crawling across your jawline. You used to transport a pointless piece of metal that served but one purpose. But now, you dust off the ashes of regret as you marvel at your concealed multi-tool, the Tacticlip. You look civil, but this evolved snap clip is anything but civilian. Introducing the tactical hair clip crafted by tactical minds for unpredictable lifestyles. A serrated edge for escape, a precise tip to cut through that packing tape, an edge to flash against the flint, a wire stripper for stapling that IED. Minimalist enough to conceal several at a time, whether surviving the streets of Gaza Strip or traveling the trails of Trinidad. This battle-hardened barrette is the next generation of minimalist preparedness. Comfortable, minimalist, and always on hand. Tacticlip.
Oh, isn't that just so cool? It's a little over the top, but let's talk multi-tool tactical hair clips, because not only is there a black version, a tactical black version, but there's also, we're going to go over to the tan version right here. So if you have lighter blonde type hair, sandy colored hair, then this will blend right in. You also have the cyberpunk version right here. And these are the iridescent ones. All of them were smashing successes on a small little website called Kickstarter. And exclusive to this broadcast is a 10% off coupon code, which when you click on that in the carousel below, that will be applied at checkout. You're welcome. So tactical hair clips. Oh, by the way, they are perfectly safe on the hair. Many people are like, oh, don't they cut your hair? No, they're not actually knives. They don't have a sharpened edge, but they do have a serrated edge. Does that make sense? But it's not sharp. It's not like a razor blade. It functions exactly like a snap hair clip, only it's a multi-tool. And if you want to be the next MacGyver, this is something that's pretty darn cool to cut through that packing tape. Awesome, huh? So there you go, Tacticlip, available on Amazon.com. At least I think so. The black version, I noticed, was getting sold out pretty darn fast. Amazon's been very slow with stocking their warehouses lately, but the cyberpunk iridescent version and the blonde version are actually available, last I checked. There you go. Hey, let's talk about a survival knife, shall we?
I love mountaineering, I love the wilderness, I love survivalism. So that begs the question.
Wait a sec. This is director's commentary, huh? So what in the world was that opening right there? So see that opening sequence? I am on the crater of Mount Rainier. That's on top of Mount Rainier here in Washington State. Very few people actually see it from this perspective unless they're up there above the clouds. And the crater is very eerie looking because it's massive. I want to say it's a mile wide, but that's probably exaggerating. It's when you see people on the other side, they're like ants. It's huge, this crater on top. And you can walk through the middle of the crater. As a matter of fact, we are coming up on Columbia Crest right there. And people, in order to access that, they have to cross that crater if they're coming up from the Camp Muir side. We typically summit from the Camp Sherman side.
Hello,
at least once a year. Whoops. At least once a year we try to. And I'm going to kind of scrub ahead right here. Yeah, I'm just like, it's so cold, it's so windy, but it's a beautiful morning. What is it, 6 a.m. right there? I don't know, but we're up there on the shale and everything. Last time we were up on Mount Rainier, we actually had to go into some steam vents to get warm because it was like a whiteout blizzard. Oh, it was so cold up there. I mean, of course it's cold up there. It's a mountain. I'm not expecting it to be the tropics here, but it's fun. It's very fun. So anyway, let's actually move into the review itself of this fascinating survival knife. Now, I do want to point out, which I'm probably going to point out in the video, that Gerber dropped the Bear Grylls branding. Isn't that interesting? So I don't know if it's because there was so much pushback, because he kind of sensationalizes survivalism. And she's like, well, he was just in a hotel. He wasn't really out there for a week on end. But the tool itself is very, very good. So I think that's why they dropped his branding. You can see right there, kind of on the right-hand side, see where my left elbow is. There is a flint, and there's also a sharpening stone on the back of the scabbard. It's very interesting. So let's play this.
Begs the question, wow, Bo, how come you are holding something from Bear Grylls? I mean, wouldn't you distance yourself from some fellow who sensationalizes survivalism and goes out and survives in a hotel, and he survives in the wilderness. Credit to where credit is due. This is made by Gerber. I don't know if Gerber went to Bear Grylls and said, hey guy, we have a great design for a survival knife. Can we slap your branding on here? I don't know the story behind this, but this is one solid survival knife. And I'm gonna break down some of the features, what I like about this, and why I would actually carry this out into the wilderness to survive with. First of all, it's fixed blade, it's full tang, it's sturdy, it feels nice, it's extremely comfortable. It's got this rubberized grip. On the grip, look it, they were thoughtful enough to put a point there, there, and there. See those holes? That means you can lash this to the tip of a stick, effectively turning it into a spear.
Nice. Isn't that neat? So there's a lot of thought put into this thing that, let's say, for example, the Essie Knife that I just did an unboxing of initially, they don't even have those little eyelets in there. And that would be very, very helpful to secure this to the tip of a stick to effectively turn it into a spear. But you can see that, well, they've got one big eyelet there, but that's pretty much it. Unless you have some really, really, like a lot of burly twine, you just crank that thing down. So I would recommend this. It is a well thought out survival knife. And you can see in the carousel below that they have actually gone to the extent of removing Bear Grylls' brand, but it's the exact same product except for the color. Neat, huh? So many people actually are a bit disillusioned with owning knives because they're never sharp. That has been a game changer for me, discovering this thing.
Today, I am excited because I finally got my EDC pocket knife sharp. There's been so many of these forums out here where, no, you got to achieve the perfect edge by sitting there with your whetstone or this intricate system. I felt a little dirty getting something mechanical, but it works. And so I'm actually gonna hop right into the basic functionality of this. I found that there are very few videos out there about how to actually deploy this thing once it shows up in the mail. So hopefully this short little video will save you 15 or 20 minutes, because when it shows up in the mail, it's gonna look like this. And you're just gonna be looking at this and be like, so do I hold it like a fishing rod? What is this thing? So in this position right here, it's parked. What you're gonna want to do is rotate it up like this until it snaps. And so this triangle is supposed to be pointed straight up. See these two little wings right here? They're kind of like a fork. Those are pointed straight up. To fold it back into the position, it's this little...
Watch how easy it is to sharpen a knife. This is so brilliant. Now, there still are a lot of purists out there who insist that you need a whetstone in order to sharpen. This is not one of those mechanical ones that you just kind of throw your kitchen knife into and it's going to guarantee dull your blade. This thing is absolutely brilliant. So right there.
And then once you achieve a burr, if you're not familiar with that, look up their video. They explain it wonderfully. Once you achieve that burr, then you're going to flip it over to this side, and then you're going to have the same amount of strokes. Let's say 5 strokes on this side. You achieve your burr, go to this side, 5 strokes on that side.
Brilliant, huh? So this thing has been such a game changer for me. I actually went out and bought another one for my brother-in-law, and you can do serrated knives, you can do kitchen knives, you can do pocket knives, you can do... Matter of fact, they also give you a little sanding belt, and you can go out and sharpen your tools. I sharpened my lawnmower, and that in and of itself paid itself off because I never knew that my lawnmower blades were that dull. But man, once you sharpen your lawnmower blades, it just cuts through the grass like butter. It's so satisfying. It's no longer getting clogged up and choking when you go through long grass because you are too lazy and you just don't want to cut the grass. Oh, did I say it? Okay, here we go. All right. We are going to lastly end with the multi-tool hair clip iridescent version, because this has been our most recent one, and I want to actually show you because some of you out there in Facebook land specifically may actually be in this video because I have some footage here from Mexico doing a house build there with YWAM. So let's roll it. that's just so satisfying. That's just so cool. Oh, wow. So you can see this thing can, you know, in that instance that you need to stab through a can of soda, you can use your tactical hair clip now. So there you go. Oh boy, this is just so much fun. I hope that you've enjoyed this wonderful little live broadcast with yours truly, Bo Shevasu. I just highlighted a few of my top reviews over on my YouTube channel. I have over 22,000 subscribers on one channel. I've got many channels with more subscribers than that. But if you're interested in materialistic things, purchasing things on Amazon, as I have. As a matter of fact, my wife and I were talking about that today. We were like, boy, we've got so much stuff from Amazon. What are we going to do for Christmas? Because usually we can see each other's purchases, or if I want to review something, like let's say, for example, this Essie knife, you know, I go out and I can justify it in a review. Now, there's nothing for my wife to buy me for Christmas. So we had a very sweet conversation about like, well, maybe she could maybe make something, or I could make something, or maybe buy something not on Amazon. Ooh, what a challenge that is. So anyway, I'm going to look forward to Christmas because I do love her tremendously and I have some ideas already. All right, so that is it, everybody. I hope that you have enjoyed this. You can catch me over on Facebook if you'd like. I've been rather active on there. Matter of fact, some of you may even be watching this live broadcast on there. And if in fact you have tuned into the actual Amazon Live link and been chatting with me here, I appreciate that. Thank you for following also. That does improve the algorithm. I am currently in the A-lister application process. I have submitted my application to be an A-lister, which means that I will be featured on the front page of Amazon.com. Potentially. We shall see if in fact they continue to like my live streams. So that is it. Remember, and I end my broadcast every time with these words: you are important, and that is because God loves you, and that is why I love you also. We'll catch you next broadcast.